What's up, guys? I'm Daniel. You're on Hustle Every Day, and today we are taking a look at the Razor mower. This is a brand new stand-on, not brand new to me. I've had it for about 5 months, but brand new to the industry. Stand-on mower. They come in 36, 42, and 50, I believe. This is the 36-inch. I say I believe because I have no affiliation to this company. They're sold by a hardware store in Connecticut called Merit Hardware. I purchased this brand new for $4,000 with my own money. Like I said, no affiliation, no sponsorship. This is just me talking about this mower and letting you know what I like about it and why I think for $4,000 this is probably an extremely good purchase over some of the larger brands, maybe like Ferris or Exmark. Not saying they're not good and not saying that you may not get a lot more out of those or get some more out of those, but for those 36 inches, 36-inch mowers, we're talking about sometimes upwards of $10,000, $12,000, and that's a lot of money when this is $4,000. So let me flip the camera around. We'll take a look at this. I'll show you a few things on this mower that I think are really cool for the money. And I do have some footage of me using it. So we will cut to that here shortly because I know that's what all of you guys want to see. You want to see what the cut looks like. You want to see how fast it runs, how easy it is to use. And I have all of that footage. So please stay tuned. Let's take a look at this and then we'll cut to that footage. All right, guys, so once again, here she is. Yes, it is on my trailer. I did not feel like pulling it out today. I'd have to hook the trailer up to the truck, and I have another little platform on there. So we're going to leave it on the trailer, but I don't think that's going to hinder us in seeing some of the stuff I'd like to show you. And I already have the footage of me using it, so we won't need to take it off for that either. So I want to start off at the front of this, and as you can see, it has clearly been used. It's nice and dirty. So I have had the opportunity to put this through its paces. Start off at the front. There's a really nice, bright LED light bar. And what you'll notice when we look at this, let's see if I can focus in. You have your LED focus lights in the center, and then you have your spotlights on the edge. So when you turn these on at night, you get left, right, and straight in front of you, and it is extremely bright. So that is really cool on a $4,000 mower. It's obviously electric start, as you can see up there. The key is up there. Has a nice hour meter, a wireless hour meter. Comes with the mower. Not a big deal, but that's something that's pretty cool. The gauge of the deck is 10 gauge still. So I know a lot of the commercial mowers do come with 7 gauge, but at the same time, I have looked at many other large brands like Ferris, for example, which I own right here. And they use the same 10 gauge still on their deck. So 7 or 10 gauge, I don't think is a huge difference overall. It's when we get down into the like 14 gauge decks and things of that nature that we're looking at more of a residential versus commercial. The chute guard is extremely nice. It's made out of a rubber material, a thick rubber material. It folds up and it stays up well. It does not fall down. So if you want to use it up, if you want to use it down, it's not either down or off. You can keep it on. The motor on this bad boy is a 700, let's see if we can get around here, 746cc V-twin Lonkin motor. Now I know as soon as I said Lonkin, I probably lost some of you guys, because we're used to hearing the Vanguard, Briggs, Kawasaki, motors like that. And this Lonkin name, I know to me, I was like, oh, I don't know about all that. You know, I'm not familiar with that company. But as I did some research into them, I found out that they are essentially Chinese Kawasaki motor. They are highly revered in China. They're starting to use them a lot more over here. And I can tell you from 5 months of use, this thing starts right up with hardly any choke in like 30-degree weather. It is an extremely well built motor from what I can tell. It's built pretty much identical to the Kawasaki that is on that John Deere back there. So much like a lot of these products that come from China, they usually take a platform that's already been used and they basically just copy that. I don't know if this is based off a Kawasaki or a Kohler, but I know it looks very similar to both of them. So I would also assume that parts will be interchangeable. But with that said, what I've heard is the support here in the States is getting stronger and stronger, and mechanics are becoming more familiar with working with these motors. So I do not think that you really have a lot to be concerned about with it being the Longhorn motor. These also come with a 2-year warranty, so that's pretty cool. And I talked with Merit Hardware, and they seem pretty good about following up with what they say they'll do, though I've not had any issues directly with this where I have to send it back. I have had a couple questions, and they've been very quick to answer. They've had their mechanics call me back. I even done some video chats with me. So to me, I feel like that's a lot more than I'm going to get from some big box stores or even from some of my local mower shops like Premier, for example, which I really like, but they don't seem to want to offer up advice for free. They don't want to help you out for free. They want you to drop off your mower. They want to work on it. They want to give it back to you and charge you. With Merit Hardware, I have found that they're more than happy to talk with you, message you, video chat, and help you out in any way they possibly can. Now, they're in Connecticut, so obviously, if you did have to send the mower back, it's going to be a little bit of a process. But, fingers crossed, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of issues with this. And let me turn the camera back around. We'll take a look at a few more things on this mower. All right, so as we move around to the side of this mower, a couple of things that I want to point out that really stand out to me let me climb up on here. The size of these brackets that support the deck. This is some heavy gauge steel that's used on these brackets and these brackets. This bracket here, this is all of your deck adjustment brackets. And if we come over here to my $9,000 John Deere, take a look at these. These are the deck brackets. Look at the difference. I've had to replace these twice already, and they're on back order for like 4 months. So that's a real pain. It's the same with the ones, I don't know if you can see them underneath there, right in there. You have the two brackets, and they are extremely thin. These holes have a tendency to stretch out. Same with that one as the deck wobbles around, and then your deck alignment gets off, and you're basically stuck either trying to weld these holes back into shape or buy new ones. And these things are like $130 for the front ones and $60 a piece for the back ones. So when I'm looking at a mower, those are some of the things that I like to pay attention to. The size of the steel, the thickness of the steel, the thickness of the brackets. Also, how easy is it to change your deck height? This is an extremely easy process. Basically, just pull it back, pull it over, drop it down. When you're done, you lift it up, lock it in, and it is that easy. You don't have a lot of extras, a lot of pins, anything like that. Other than this right here, which is just where you select your height. The only issue I had with this, I'm going to be completely honest, this right here is a spacer that I had to put in. That was one of the things that I had to talk to Merit about. They said it, unfortunately, was just a bit of a flaw in the design, because what would happen was, as I would try to raise or lower the deck, this would catch on these bolts, and it essentially wouldn't let me lock it in right there. So what I found was spacing this out just a little bit allowed me to do what I needed to do. But that is also a really nice feature there. We'll come around to the tires. They are 8 by 8.5 by 8. Yeah, that's a little hubcap I stuck on. They don't come with that, but they are a nice size tire, especially when comparing to something like this Ferris FW15. These tires are just little baby tires, and what's important to know is this mower costs $4,000. This mower costs $4,000. Look at the difference. I'm not saying this Ferris is not a good mower, but my gosh, if I would have known a 32-inch Ferris for $4,000 or this massive beast of a machine for $4,000, Probably would have held off on this, though now that I have it, it works. When I have extremely small gates that are ridiculously small, this fills in there, but it rarely gets used anymore because this is a 36 and most gates are 40 inches, so that works out really well. It does have a really nice pad right here, thick pad, plenty of support, but one thing I don't like is this stand right here. There's not really, you can see there's some dampers down there a little bit, but some of the mowers come with kind of shocks or springs. There's not a lot to this here, and when you fold it up, there's nothing to lock it in. So obviously on these stand-on mowers, you typically don't want to walk behind them because they utilize your weight to help control. But with that said, when I'm pulling up my other mowers on my trailer, it would be nice if I could fold this up, lock it in, and then bring that wheel all the way up to there. Because, you know, that's an extra, half a foot right there that pushes this mower back onto my trailer. So that was one thing I'd like to see, but overall not a huge deal. It does fold up, and I'm sure if I wanted to put, some sort of bungee on it, I could. Again, it's not that big a deal. You have your hydraulic lock and unlock right here. Easy, very easy access if you do need to unlock your hydraulics. Just grab them, pull, twist, you're done. On the side here, we have a couple of nice cup holders, emergency brake. These are your controls, very standard to what you're going to see on a typical stand-on. This one you pull in, that's how you start it. You can also start it with the brake on, but as soon as you take the brake off, that does need to be folded in. Forward, reverse, it springs back to the center like all of them should, so we're good there. Come around to the gas tank side here. Nice gas tank port sticking out here, easy to access, easy to get the gas into, typically not worrying about pouring gas or spilling gas. The tank is, I believe, 2.5 gallons, so I can run this for a couple days without running out of gas. Another really cool feature that I like is the oil drain hose that they have provided. So I know a lot of your commercial mowers will have that, but at the same time, we look at something like this $4,000 Ferris, and the oil drain is down there on the bottom, and it makes a big mess on the top of the deck every time I have to change the oil. These are so incredibly nice because you just unscrew that, drain the oil, pour your oil back in, and you're good to go. One thing that I was a little bit concerned about is the hydraulics. So it is by a company called Hydrogear, which I do believe they're a pretty good company, but I believe these hydraulics are the 2200 series, which is a little bit more of the entry level on the hydraulics. I believe those are more of what you're going to see on some of your higher end residential mowers. But with that said, as you'll see in the footage of me using it, the hydraulics are extremely crisp and they work well. I think my biggest concern would be overall longevity. And when we come around this side, you can see again, we got the thick brackets. It's built very, very well. The exhaust is pushed out good ways from the motor. And one thing that I didn't mention about this company is the Razor brand is actually by the company Ariens. So the same company that makes the orange mowers that you see in a lot of the big box stores. This is their attempt at a commercial line of mowers. They have other sit-on zero turns along with their stand-ons, but personally I just really wanted the stand-on, and it is obviously a dual overhead valve cam motor. The spark plug is extremely easy to access, and overall, I mean, it really feels like a well-built mower. It has all the right components and all the right parts, in my mind, to be called a commercial mower, and I am extremely happy with it. But with that said, let me go ahead and jump over to some of the footage of me using this, and you can let me know what you think. right, guys, so quick video here, but I just wanted to be the first person to get a video up about this Razor mower. I know I've had a lot of questions from people on Merit Hardware's site posting to see some sort of video of the quality of the mower and a little bit of footage of me using it. So here you go. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've bought one, if you're considering buying one. Would you consider buying one? And yeah, leave it in the comments. And other than that, guys, you know the drill. I buy all this with my own money, so make that sub button great again. Go ahead and give it a clickaroo. If you would, I'd greatly appreciate it. If not, go ahead and give me a like on this video. Most importantly, you folks have an incredible day and never stop hustling. Till next time.